What is up, Diecast racing fans? You're watching the NASCAR Nitro Series on the HSL Diecast Racing channel. Today we've got the modified division at Talladega Superspeedway for the Roll Tide 499. It's called the Roll Tide 499 because there's an extra lap in the main event, and we're celebrating all the great football players like Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, and Jahad Campbell that played for Alabama. And since we're at Talladega, you got to watch out for the dreaded big one. It's going to happen. It's going to happen often, and it very well may take out a title contender or two or three. And we're going to kick things off with Harry Hoon on the pole position. Next to him in second place, Lord Raymond and Heather on the outside. The second row has Puff, who just won the Creature feature on 905 Diecast channel. Congratulations to him. He beat out a lot of big names in that tournament. And now the gates are down. Let's see what he's got against our two-time race winner, Heather. Cut Rock Creek Racing's Harry Hoon. And it's a thick crowd heading into the funnel chute. Harry Hoon just pushes Puff off the track. And Chef Squid gets vertical in the turn. That's real scary, but he manages to recover and holds on to third place. Puff, though, another victory hangover, got pushed off by a car that weighs a lot less. Starting in 7th, goes from 4th to 7th for lap number 2. And look at Harry Hoon with no help from Heather at all. She's got a flat tire or something. It doesn't matter. He runs away with it without any drafting help. Lord Raymond makes up a little bit of ground in the turn, but Harry Hoon looks unstoppable. And we've got our first caution of the day. It's Gavin McSpadge and Chef Squid, two guys who are no stranger to the HSL junkyard. They both bin it with minimal contact in the middle of the turn, and they're getting towed or pushed into the HSL junkyard. We got 5 drivers left on lap 3, and this time Lord Raymond's putting up a fight. Side by side with Harry Hoon for the lead, they make contact. It's a jumbled mess of cars right now. They're all sideways. Who knows who's going to come out on top? Coffee Tart's upside down, but it's a drag race to the finish, and Lord Raymond's going to get it by a bumper lane. And now you see this pack of cars in the replay, jockeying for position as they exit the funnel chute. Harry Hoon actually hits the right rear of Lord Raymond's car. Lord Raymond gets vertical and loses all of his momentum in the middle of the turns. That is dangerous, but he recovers, throws a block on Harry Hoon, barely beats him by half a car length, not even. And if you notice, behind all that action, Coffee Tart ended up on her roof out of the race after slamming into the retaining wall sideways. And she got a top 10 in the stocks race, which is why she's here, but she won't be joining Skeeter Davis and Far Out Jay as the only stocks to get a top 10 in a mods race. And that leaves us with 4 cars left for the final lap. Leading them to the start will be Lord Raymond. He's the only driver on this lap that has a pusher. Looks like Puff is going to take full advantage of that. They both blow by the outside lanes. Flawless through the middle of the funnel chute as they fall into a single file line heading into turn number 1. Exiting turn 2, still single file. It's going to be Lord Raymond to the main event. Puff to the seconds race after getting tossed off the track on the first lap. And now it's time for segment number 2. On the front row, we got 3 heavy hitters. We got Burt Buzzard second in points, Lucky Jackson third in points, Gaza, who just won at Darlington. On the second row, Mike Honcho, sandwiched between Riot Isaac and Bill Z. Bub, and the stock of Crazy Ruby in 7. The gates are down, and look at Burt Buzzard. Flying away from the rest of the field, takes a turn a bit too high. Cautions out El Reco. It's Mike Honcho on his roof and out of the race. Crazy Ruby driving off to the outfield, but still on her wheels. First lap DNF while running in second place. He almost cleared the guy in third. Now he's headed off to the HSL junkyard. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that his season has just been a nightmare. His teammates in the top 10 in points. More bad luck early in the segment while running towards the front. You hate to see it, guys. Now we're moving on to lap number 2. Burt Buzzard maintains the lead. Riot Isaac moved up to third. Lucky Jackson lost a couple spots in all that excitement. The gates are down. Burt Buzzard flying away from the rest of the field. But look at Gaza. He moves up side by side heading into the funnel chute. Gaza takes a half car length lead. Punts Burt Buzzard off to the side. Burt Buzzard recovers and remains on the track, but Gaza's running away with it by a full track segment. Burt Buzzard holds on to second place. Lucky Jackson back up to third. After all that commotion, Riot Isaac falls back from third to last place. The gates are down for lap number 3. We're halfway through this segment. Gaza and Burt Buzzard once again side by side heading through the funnel chute. This time they were flawless. Still a dead heat heading into the turn. Gaza squeezes past Burt Buzzard to lead lap number 3. And if you look in the middle of the turn, Crazy Ruby's on her roof and out of the race. She bins it in the middle of the backstretch after tangling it up with Bill Z. Bub coming out of the funnel chute. She was your stock winner playing with house money tonight, but that's still got to be disappointing after the run she had in the stocks race. And now it's 5 cars left again for the final lap. Gaza will be leading him down to the start. He's got Riot Isaac to push him while Bill Bub's based behind Burt Buzzard. The gates are down. There's trouble for the middle lane at the start gate. The first time we've seen that all week. Burt Buzzard running away from the rest of the field. Lucky Jackson and Bill Z. Bub, they body slam each other. Bill gets thrown off the track, and that slows Lucky Jackson down just enough for Gazza to squeeze by and retake second place. What an incredible last lap. It could have been any one of those three guys to win it. Now let's see who's going to take segment number 3. On the pole for this segment, we have Misty G for Puffs Racing. Next to her is her teammate Baby Richie and Po Boy, the team owner of Po Boys Racing. And Misty G's got the HSL teammates of Casey Kane and the Owlman behind her to push. And in 5th and 6th, we have Sparky Racer and Sloppy Bear. The gates are down for lap number 1 of this third segment. Misty G, Casey Kane, and Po Boy head through the funnel chute. And Po Boy goes flying, flips over 6-7 times, lands on his side, cautions out. It's a double DNF as Sloppy Bear gets right reared by Sparky Racer, ends up on his roof as well. Misty G holds on to the lead, Casey Kane in second place. And there's Po Boy on his side in the outfield and out of the race. He's getting towed back to the HSL junkyard. Sloppy Bear's getting a push from the Slambulance. Joining Crazy Ruby and Chef Squid, all the other guys at DNF so far. In the HSL junkyard, another guy whose teammate is doing really well, just can't buy a break this season. And with 3 laps to go in this segment, we're already down to 5 cars. Misty G is going to lead them to the start. The gates are down. It's Casey Kane with a half a car length lead out of the start gate. Casey tries to clear Misty before they hit the funnel chute. He'll be about a millimeter too shy, but he side drafts Misty into the wall, takes the lead by a car length. It'll be Casey Kane leading halfway through this segment. He's got a 90-gram pusher for lap number 3, and the gates are down. Casey Kane once again flying away with it. He's got a car length lead ahead of the field before they get into the turn. Get this, a bump and run from Misty G. Gets him vertical. Casey Kane flies off the track. He'll be starting the final lap in last place. And it looks like we have somebody that didn't make it to the finish line. That's Baby Richie. Cautions out El Recco. He is on his side and out of the race before they even get to the turns. And now let's take a look and see what happens. He gets beached on the guardrail, slides into the retaining wall, and cannot flip himself back onto his wheels. A tough break for Baby Richie. You can see the front end of his car, all the damage he took so far this year. Let me tell you, the guy is a fighter. He's probably still going to win Comeback Driver of the Year because of his win at Sonoma. The gates are down for the final lap. Casey Kane pushes Misty G to a 2-car length lead. Rubber bands a bit in the corner, tries to catch up. He makes a move for the lead. Misty G slams the door shut. It's going to be Misty G to the main event. Casey Kane to the seconds race. A super close race for second as his teammate Owlman tries to squeeze himself into the mix, and it looks like we got somebody on the roof. That's Sparky Racer. Disappointing day for him. He would have gone to the 4th race, but now he's going to watch the rest of this from the HSL junkyard next to Mike Honcho and Po Boy's cars there. Let's see if his teammate Elton Sawyer, starting second in this segment, could do any better than that. Next to him is our pole sitter for the segment, Bobby Allison. Gray makes up the front row. Charlie Verney in 4th. William for Uncle Elvis Racing. Here's stock points leader and likely champion in 5th. Hurt So Good and Morgan Shepherd makes up the rest of the segment. The gates are down. The inner lane has a bit of a trouble with the start gate. Bobby Allison flying away from the rest of the field. Nobody else is even going to touch him. Gray goes flying off the track. He's still on his wheels. Bobby Allison takes the first lap by a track segment. There's a mess of cars. Behind them, looks like Morgan Shepherd is on his side. Cautions out. For disappointment for Mark Russell Racing. Morgan Shepherd got a top 10 in the stocks race. He's playing with house money, but that's still got to be disappointing. And here we have Morgan's car getting taken to the HSL junkyard. There's this fellow stock Crazy Ruby. He's going to be parked next to or maybe on top of one of those other cars. Bobby Allison now in control of this segment. Charlie Verney moves up to second. William up to third. Both he and Elton Sawyer were held up by Morgan Shepherd's wreck. Bobby Allison once again flying away from the rest of the field. William there tries to block Elton or Charlie from making a move on Bobby Allison. It's working. Bobby Allison leads lap number 2. And those last 2 shots were pretty dark. We got ourselves a rain delay. And here's some of my most recent builds. The first 2 for Allred Family Racing. The second 2 are Owlman and Vinny Nightlife heading to Cactus Creek Speedway on the Rancid Cactus Racing channel. The links to their channels are going to be in the description. And now the rain delay is all over. It's time for lap number 3 of the 4th segment. Bobby Allison still has the lead. Great push from Charlie Verney there. And once again, the race is for second place. 3 wide heading into the funnel chute. They all navigate it smoothly except for Gray. Cautions out El Recco. He's on his side. Bobby Allison, another dominant lap at his home track. And a tough break for Gray. His teammate Sloppy Bear already in the background. Gray, his first DNF of the season during segment racing. He hasn't had a finish outside of the top 20 coming into this race. 5th in points. A bad points day for him, but it's looking like it's going to be a good points day for Bobby Allison. He's 1 lap away from the main event. The gates are down. Him and Charlie Verney side by side. Charlie Verney trying to make a move for the lead. Gets side drafted at the last second. Bobby Allison wins the 4th segment, punches his ticket to the main event. And we've got another DNF. This time it's Elton Sawyer. Bad luck for Mark Russell today. Both of his mods DNF on the last lap of their segments. What an unfortunate turn of events for them. The only silver lining is that there's a lot of other wrecks on earlier laps. And now it's time for the 5th and final segment of segment racing. On the pole for this segment, your points leader, Clyde for Uncle Elvis Racing. Next to him, Gale Force and J-Bo. Szechuan Broccoli, Lord Shank, the stock of Regular Richie, and Giorgio made it in the second chance race. Round out your field, and it's smooth sailing on the first lap through the funnel chute. Clyde takes the lead. Looks like we got a late caution here for Richie. Gets shoved off the track by Lord Shank and doesn't stick the landing on the first lap in the middle of the turn. So they're taking him to the HSL junkyard. And it's going to be Clyde once more, leading the field down for lap number 2. Szechuan Broccoli moves up to 3rd place. And the gates are down for lap number 2. And it's a 6-car race. Gale Force trying to break away from the rest of the pack. She clears them heading into the turns. Cautions out for the big one. We got 3 cars on the roof. The first big one of the day happens on lap 2 of the final segment. Szechuan Broccoli's on his roof. J-Bo just moved into the top 10 in points. He's on his roof. Giorgio, back-to-back top 10 finishes. He won't have one today. All 3 of them taken to the HSL junkyard. We got to break out our emergency 3rd tow truck. What a disaster of a lap. It was a matter of when, not if, this would happen at Talladega. Let's go back to the replay. Side by side heading into the funnel chute. J-Bo gets tossed off the track. And I don't know what the heck Szechuan Broccoli was doing. There's Lord Shank driving underneath Giorgio to flip him into the air, who catches Szechuan Broccoli. Their cars kind of mesh together, then come apart both upside down. What an absolutely chaotic lap that was. We are down to just 3 cars halfway through segment number 5. Gale Force is going to lead him down. Clyde in 2nd place, Lord Shank in 3rd. And now Lord Shank is challenging for the lead. Gale Force runs away from him, though, at the last second before they move on to the split track. Gale Force takes it by 2 track segments. Clyde stalls in the middle of the track. He's still on his wheels. It's time for the final lap of segment racing. Some start gate issues. Clyde's the only one that gets off of the start gate at first. The other 2 manage to fire up their engines. Clyde and Gale Force crash on the front stretch. Gale Force gets slammed into the retaining wall. She's on her roof and out of the race. The last lap of segment racing has the last DNF of segment racing. Only 2 finishers. Clyde to the main event. Lord Shank to the seconds race. Here we see Gale Force, another race winner this season, really high in the point standings, getting towed over to the HSL junkyard, where she's going to watch the placement races, and the main event not going to be a part of it after leading most of her segment. And now it's time for the 4th and 5th race. The favorite for this has got to be Heather. She's starting on the front row, the only driver with a pusher, and if she leads this lap, she'll be the only one with a pusher for the 2nd lap. And the gates are down for lap number 1. Riot Isaac stalls his car. Heather takes a 2-car length lead over Bill Bubb heading into the turns. Clean racing through the turn and onto the backstretch. Heather expands her lead to almost a track segment to lead lap number 1, and she'll have the 90-degree pusher of Riot Isaac for lap number 2. We had 17 DNFs in the segment racing altogether, so the worst any of these guys can finish is 18th. The gates are down. Heather, flawless through the funnel chute once again, wins it by 2 car lengths. Riot Isaac takes 2nd place, but it's going to be Heather moving on to the 3rd race, and this is going to be an exciting 3rd race. We got Harry Hoon and Lucky Jackson going up against each other. The winner of this gets into the 2nd race and a good chance at a top 10. Gates are down. Harry Hoon crashes into the start gate. Lucky Jackson dominates the lap. He's got a 2-car length lead over the Owlman heading into the final lap. Hurt So Good moves up to 3rd, and it's a 5-car pack at the drop of the gate. They are all side by side, a solid pack of cars. They're all having decent points days. They want it bad. Lucky Jackson, though, runs away from everybody else. It's going to be Lucky Jackson moving on to the 2nd race, where he starts in last place in a stacked field featuring Gaza, Puff, Casey Kane, Charlie Verney, trying to look for his first ever top 10. Worst any of these guys can finish is 11th, and the gates are down. Look at Gaza flying away, gaining speed every second he's on the track. He pulls out a camera range for a second. Charlie Verney moves up to 2nd place, looking for his first career top 10. It's going to be Gaza leading the field to the start for the final lap of this seconds race. And the gates are down. Gaza flying away from the rest of the field. The inner lane has a bit of a trouble with the start gate. Lucky Jackson trying to make up some lost ground, collides with Casey Kane. Cautions out. Everyone but Gaza's involved. Gazza flies away to take the seconds race. He'll be moving on to the main event. And let's take a look at the wreckage. It looks like Charlie Verney's the only driver on his roof out of that. He'll be credited with 11th once more. The opportunities for that top 10 are running out. Only 3 races to go. You can see the wreck as it happens once again, a couple different angles. And now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's main event time. On the pole for the main event is Burt Buzzard, trying to get the points lead away from the car. Right behind him, Clyde, Bobby Allison, Misty G, Lord Raymond, and Gazza make up the rest of your field. The gates are down and half the cars stall at the start. Bobby Allison flying away from the rest of the pack. Half a track segment lead over second place Burt Buzzard. He tries to rubber band at the end, but it's going to be Bobby Allison. That leads lap number 1. Your cars that got stuck at the start gate did get onto the track. Those positions don't change. Gates are down. Bobby Allison with the lead. 4 laps to go because the main event has an extra lap in it. Side by side with Gazza. And Bobby Allison gets shoved into the retaining wall by Gazza, who takes the lead while Bobby Allison is forced to start the middle lap in last place. Gazza, the big winner here, moves up from first to third. All the guys that were on the back row each moved up a spot. Clyde up to third. Lord Raymond up to fourth. And so on and so forth. And they're 3 wide for the lead heading into the funnel chute on lap number 3. They navigate it relatively cleanly, but then Lord Raymond gets tossed off the track, cautions out. Lord Raymond's day is over. It's his 5th main event in 9 races and his 5th DNF in the main event. Bad luck for Lord Raymond once more, still looking for that first career podium. He's going to have to wait for that. The gates are down for lap number 4. Just 2 laps to go. Burt Buzzard gets a good shot from his championship rival Clyde, but Gazza's not giving up. He tags Burt Buzzard's quarter panel in the turn. Burt Buzzard's on his roof. Gazza leads the lap. Bobby Allison back up to second. Burt Buzzard's day is done. He's going to lose ground to Clyde in the championship point standings, and the gates are now down for the final lap. Gazza's running away with this. He's got a 2-car length lead before they even hit the fat track. Misty G gets loose, holds up the rest of the field behind her. Gazza is your winner at Talladega. Misty G takes second. Clyde moves his way up to third. 2 spots ahead of his championship rival, Burt Buzzard. Congratulations to Gazza, his 3rd straight main event. 2nd career win after winning at Darlington, getting all those second place finishes earlier in the year. Gazza's now a 2-time winner in the NASCAR Nitro Series. Great job, Barora Bangers, Puff, and Uncle Elvis for getting your cars onto the podium. A great drive for all 3 of these drivers. Misty G breaking the slump she's been in. Clyde expanding his points lead. Gazza making a statement that he's here to stay and he's here to be a contender. He should be in or at least very close to the top 5 in points. Same thing with Bobby Allison and the top 10. Let's take a look at your race results. Gazza gets those 200 points for winning. Misty G and Clyde, of course, Bobby Allison and Burt Buzzard, Lord Raymond round out your main event. Puff, Casey Kane, Lucky Jackson, and Lord Shank. Look at him with back-to-back top 10 finishes now. But Lucky Jackson, his streak of top 10s is now at an amazing 7. Lord Shank righting the ship after a shaky start to the season. Survived the bloodbath that was segment 4 to collect back-to-back top 10s for the first time in his career. But you've got to feel it for Charlie Verney, 11th place once again. That's his 2nd 11th place finish this season. The 5th time he finished between 11th and 15th. We have 18 finishers in the segment racing today. William, your lowest ranked driver to finish the segments. He crashed on the last lap of the 4th and 5th race. Elton Sawyer, your highest placing El Recco, still a top 20 because he crashed on the last lap and had a good starting spot. And now here we have 21st through 35th, the rest of the field. Regular Richie gets credit for last place after crashing on the first lap, starting near the back. None of the stock field fillers finished, and Hurts So Good was your best finishing Go Birds car. Szechuan Broccoli, of course, with his DNF, part of the big one. The second lap is segment number 4. Only one big one today. The rest of the wrecking was smaller 1 and 2 car incidents. And now let's take a look at the points. Clyde, 13 points over Burt Buzzard. They both made the main event today. Clyde gained 10 points over him. And then Burt Buzzard pulls 100 points ahead of Lucky Jackson in 3rd. Gale Force and Puff make up your top 5. Gazza moves all the way up to 6th with his 2nd win of the season. 3 straight main events for him. Misty G and Lord Raymond move back into the top 10. Gray tumbles a couple spots. Harry Hoon in 10th place rounds out your top 10. Heather and J-Bo fall out. Po' Boy as well due to DNFs. Bobby Allison up to 14th. Less than 100 points out. In fact, only 98 points separate 7th and 14th. Riot Isaac, Charlie Verney, Elton Sawyer, Sparky Racer, Casey Kane moves back into the top 20. Baby Richie falls to 20th after his DNF. His first El Reco during segment racing in that new car. Not really a new car anymore. It's been like 6 races now. Lord Shank moves up to 26th, passes Mike Honcho and Christie, who started every race. Chase Elliott missed the race. He's down to 30th. Not much movement beyond that because a lot of the usual field fillers didn't make it in due to DNQs or DNFs for the stock race. And would you look at that, Vinny Nightlife has modified series points. He's had that for a while. Not in last place, though. That goes to Nessa Force. These guys are outside of the top 48. And after Pocono, they're going to be stuck where they are, eliminated from the competition. As only the top 48 are going to make it to the hockey rink to try and qualify due to that qualifying setup. 4 cars on the track at a time. And then the field will be set for the top 36 in points for the season finale. Right now, I believe 36th is Coffee Tart from the slide back. And as you know, the 2025 NASCAR Nitro Series season is winding down. There's only 3 races left, 3 stock races, 3 modified races. And I'm going to start mailing cars out once the finale is filmed and all my unedited footage is backed up. For the 2026 season, it's going to be modifieds only. You can send stocks, but they'll probably lose. As you see, the stocks did pretty poorly against the heavier cars today. The same casting rules apply. No Fox Body Mustangs. Send your cars to HSL Diecast Racing, P.O. Box 7, Wind Gap, Pennsylvania, 18091. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you out there on the track.